pride myself on creating professional quality products, but you can't please everyone, and as a result, sometimes you're going to get negative reviews. So I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at some of my negative Amazon reviews and ask the question, is this really justified? Greetings everyone, welcome to the underground lair where we bring our creations to life. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. I'm a professional illustrator, designer, and mad creator. And sometimes I channel that creativity and create products that I put out there in the world. And I do this in the form of creating workbooks for other comic book artists. I sometimes niche down into different, hobbies or interests and create books for that. And again, sell them on Amazon. And if you've ever been on Amazon, you know that if you purchase a product, you can leave a review on that. And by and large, most of the reviews I get are positive, and I really do try to put out a quality product. I don't rush things. I like to think everything through, make sure that I put out the best product as possible. So it does kind of hurt a little bit when I do get a negative reaction, but then I have to ask myself, are these negative reviews really a reflection of the work that I'm putting out there, or is there something else behind this? So I thought it'd be fun or interesting or educational to kind of go in and maybe talk a little bit about how people review on Amazon, and why maybe you should rethink the way you're reviewing products. And maybe you should do a little more research before you actually buy a product, because sometimes, at least in my case, I think I pretty much spell out exactly what my products are, and if you would just read what that is, you'd know exactly what you're getting, because I'm not trying to fool anyone, I'm not trying to con anyone. I'm very direct in exactly what I'm doing, and even, with these, for instance, these workbooks that I put out there, a perfect example is, so I've got these books, this is for, for comic book artists, it's blank comic book pages, so there's just these blank panels that I put out there. Now, if somebody picks this up and say, make your own comics or whatever, they pick up this book and then they're looking through it and they're saying, I didn't like this book because there's no pictures. That's not what it's meant to be. It says blank comic book pages right here. Now, I never got a review like that, but it's not far off from some of the reviews that I do get based on what I'm trying to put out there. So I want to talk a little bit about a few of these books that I'm putting out and read some of these negative reviews and then just really ask, is this fair? Because the thing with Amazon, it's not like a YouTube comment. If somebody comments on something on YouTube or whatever, you can respond, and like if somebody doesn't like one of my videos, I can say, I'm sorry you didn't like this. This is kind of what I'm going for. I'm sorry if you thought it was something else. Or just kind of, if you're getting a negative review, I mean, people base a lot of their buying decisions on these reviews. And if they read a negative review, it could really turn a person off. Where, if there was an ability for somebody to comment, the person creating the product, if you get a negative review and say, I'm sorry you didn't like this, for anyone else looking to buy this product, I've pretty much spelled out everything it is, and I'm not trying to fool anyone. You can kind of at least smooth that over for other people that are looking for that product, to let them know that here's what it is. Maybe this person didn't like it, but maybe they had something else in their mind or whatever. Because once a review is on Amazon, you can't be removed or anything like that. There may be some channel of it just totally egregious or something like that. And there's some things that are totally out of the control of the person putting the product on Amazon. It's more of an Amazon thing, some decision that they made that the person making the product has no control over, yet those negative reviews, they affect that particular product, when in fact it has nothing to do with the product itself. So anyway, I want to talk about some of these and just kind of go into it. I thought it'd be fun and again, a little educational, and maybe make people rethink how they review things on Amazon. So the first negative review I want to talk about is in reference to this book, Make Your Own Comics Lettering Guides. So I want to explain a little bit about what this book actually is. So if you letter comics traditionally, you may know what this is. It's an Ames lettering guide, and it's just a way to rule out lines on a page so you can letter comics. It's a very particular tool. Sometimes it's hard to use, and sometimes people don't want to rule out all these different lines. So basically what this is, it's just basically a notebook with lines ruled out using an Ames lettering guide. So essentially it's like a notebook. The difference is if you're a comic book letterer, this type of notebook isn't going to really work for you because they're not really, it's not really the same size that you would work with if you're lettering comics. And there's really, to my knowledge, no other book out there like this with these lines. Now, that's what it is. It's a notebook, and it's just for practicing your comic book lettering. It's got all these guides in here, and you can just practice as much as you want. And in addition to that, it has some other things. There's just some advice. I usually, in the front of each of my books, I put little tools and advice and things like that. This one actually has a little more than typically, you know, just to kind of show you how to roll out your letters. So there's actually some other information in there, and that's just a bonus. There's a few, 5 or 6 pages here as a bonus, but for the most part, what this book is and what it's advertised as is just a notebook ruled with an Ames lettering guide so you can practice lettering your comic book. That's what it is. So with that in mind, let's look at the review on this particular book. Okay, so here I am on Amazon. This is the first book I want to look at. It is Make Your Own Comics Lettering Guides for Kids of All Ages, over 100 pages for professional and aspiring artists who want to learn to hand letter. All right, so right now this particular book has only 3 ratings, and this is another thing. A negative review, when you only have 3 ratings, it really affects it. Now, I've got other books that have a lot more ratings, and if you get 1 negative review in there versus 25 positive, it really doesn't matter. But in the beginning, when you're trying to, because this is a newer book, so when you're trying to get these off and you get these negative reviews, it really has an effect on it. So let's look at this one, and this is the one that actually I've got 5 stars and everything, but this is the only one that left, because you can just leave a star review, but then I've got this one where they actually, talked about it. So also, if you're going to leave a positive review, and I hope sometimes you will leave positive reviews if you get a product you like, maybe just mention a little bit, not just the star review, but take the time to say what you liked about it. Anyway, so let me read this. This is a 2-star review. I say almost a waste of money because it's not that expensive. However, there are only a few pages with any techniques or different lettering styles to use. Most of this book is just blank pages with lines on them. We'll talk about that because that's pretty much what it's supposed to be. I guess that's how the 100 pages came to be that this book advertises. You might as well spend your money on a blank sketchbook, and as I mentioned, a blank sketchbook or even a line sketchbook, that's not what this is. These are ruled out because you're using an Ames lettering guide for comic book lettering. A blank sketchbook isn't the same experience. You're going to have to rule all that stuff out yourself, and a regular line notebook isn't going to be the right size. So I'm just not sure that this person knew exactly what this book was. Anyway, so you might as well spend your money on a blank sketchbook and maybe a Dover, I think that's another publisher, or other instructional book. Again, there are instructional parts to this book that are just thrown in there as a bonus, but that's not really what this is. This is for practice and everything. I guess it would be a little more money, but a much better investment. You would probably get a better outcome in the end. Again, I don't think there's another book out there like this for practicing comic books, specifically comic book lettering. So please don't waste your money on this little book. Dare I call it a rag? Please forgive me, thank you. So that's the review. So let's kind of look, I don't know if the person read what this book was about, but let's kind of see what I put in here and see if I was misleading anyone or trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes and try to sell them something that really was not advertised. Is this false advertising? Am I trying to sell this as an instructional manual? Let's see. So here's my description. Now it's easy to practice lettering for your comic book stories, no matter your age or skill level. Boys, girls, kids of all ages like to write and draw and design logos for your comics. And I also have books where you can they're logo templates. This journal is, again, journal. It's not advertised in an instructional book. It's a journal. What do you do with journals? You write in them. This journal is filled with over 100 pre-formatted guides to help you practice hand lettering for your comic stories and spark your creativity. So here's what the features are. Is it just tons of, am I advertising that it's a lot of, instructional, like you're going to learn how to do all this? No, I mean, tons of helpful pro lettering templates designed by a professional comic book artist. That is all true. That's the bulk of it, is just line, templates. Gray ruler guides. Now this will come into play with other reviews. I specifically mentioned that these are gray guides. and borders to give you the freedom to design unique comic book lettering and aid you in creating incredible stories. And then bonus tips. Yes, there is some advice, some instructional stuff, but these are just bonus tips. Bonus tips to help you, bonus tips to inspire, to help you to create awesome comics suitable for long-form graphic novels, manga, storyboards, journaling, and more. Great portable way, and I just talk about how, there's a notebook, you can take it everywhere. I talk about the paper it's printed on, because sometimes people will comment on the kind of paper. So I want to be clear. I want to say, again, the size, all that stuff. So that's what it is. Now, if that wasn't enough, here's a little trick you can do on Amazon right here. If you're making a purchase, before you make that purchase, if you want to know what the book is, there's this little look inside feature. You click on this, and I guess let's click again. Okay, here we go. So here we go. So here's what it is. Here's the instructional. This is, again, the bonus material, so you see this stuff. But then once we get into this is all the line stuff. And you can see how it repeats. And that's the bulk of what it is. So I'm trying to be as upfront as possible. So that's the review. And I'll just let you guys decide. Do you think that I was, that I'm trying to trick somebody into getting something that they aren't? Or is all this, is basically everything that I want this book to be, that the book is spelled out in the description and in the samples? I'll leave that up to you guys. All right, so although I do a lot of these comic book workbooks, I also do books that I publish in different niches. One of these books that I created is this Astrology Natal Chart Workbook. Now, I am not the biggest expert on astrology, but I didn't just jump into this and just, I actually did some research. My girlfriend, who knows a lot more about astrology, I talked with her and I talked with other people and kind of found out what type of book would they want. So basically what this is, it's like an astrology, kind of journal. And it's basically just for figuring out, every single day you've got like 3 or 4 different charts here that you fill out and everything. And it just basically continues, it's like a journal. So all this information is in here. You just show the zodiac charts, the natal chart, the houses, aspects, astrological glyphs, and then it's got a place to put your notes, and then it just repeats, because this is something that you do on a daily basis. So after one day you repeat the process, and that's kind of what it's designed to be. Somebody didn't see it that way, and they left an interesting negative comment on it. So let's look at that. Okay, back on Amazon, here's the next book I want to talk about. Zodiac Astrological Natal Chart Workbook with blank star birth charts, fill-in pages for houses, aspects, planets, signs, symbol keys, and pages for notes. Makes a perfect birthday gift. All right, so this one has a little more ratings. This one's got 15 ratings on it. So let's go in here and see if we can find, here's the 1-star one. So this one says, keep looking. I didn't like the repeat of the same 4 pages in the small space to write on. Okay, as far as the small space, I think that's a legitimate if you expect it to be bigger, but I still think I did explain what that is. So here, let's kind of go back to the description. So, and again, here's some other things. So as far as didn't like the repeating 4 pages, to me, that makes sense because it's a repetitive process. It's a journal. You're taking these, and you do need that to repeat because they're all different. I don't know how you journal, how you break each day up into a different part if somehow all the pages are different. But anyway, so it's by design. It's supposed to be these 4 pages, which you got your natal chart, your astrological glyphs, the houses, the aspects, and your notes. And then in addition, you've got basically what's kind of on the cover here, just this little chart here that shows all the different signs. And then again, here the signs of the zodiac. And then I've got other versions of this book where it's got each. It's the same book, but it's got, for instance, if this is the top seller and it's sort of the generic one. But if you want to give this as a gift, you might want to give it as a gift to whatever sign the particular person you're giving it as a gift to, or your own sign, So those are available as well. So I try to show exactly what is in the book. So let's go to the description. An elegant natal chart workbook for professional and novice astrologers. This workbook is broken down into multiple copies of 3 separate charts and page for notes. So right there, multiple copies of 3 charts. It's the first line in the thing. So I don't know. I mean, I just think it does, if you're going to make a purchase, just instead of expecting it to be something, maybe see what it is. Why waste your money if that's not really what you're looking for? If you have other ideas of something, maybe read the description, and then by that you could see, oh, this is just 3 pages that kind of repeat as a, like a journaling thing. Maybe that's not exactly what I want. Again, if that wasn't enough, we can kind of go into the look inside feature. I don't know why it keeps closing out on there. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. All right, so we see the cover. We see right here, you've got your signs, and then we get into first the natal chart, then the houses and the aspects page, the astrological glyphs, and the notes. And then what? Oh, it repeats. What do you know? Okay. Oh, it repeats again. That's a pretty, I mean, this isn't something I'm trying to trick anyone. It's all right here. I mean, if you just look at what the book is before you make your purchase, you'll know exactly what it is. I mean, I just really don't understand why you would buy something and just expect it to be something and not do any research and then get upset because it's not what you want, when in fact that was never what it was intended to be. All right, so the last book I want to talk to, going back to comics and things like that, is this book, Make Your Own Heroes, Hero Design Templates. I've got 3 of these different books. One is just all female templates, one is all male templates. This one has both. And again, and I've shown these books off in other videos, and I always open them up. I always show exactly what they are so you can see what they are. And I'm not trying to fool anyone or anything like that. If you watch any of these videos, I do show these off. So basically what it is, there's a little information in the beginning just to talk about creating comics, and then you go into the superhero templates, and it's just a list of templates. It alternates. First it's a male template, then it's a female template, and it just keeps going like that. And it's just designed so you can design costumes and characters and things like that using these templates. And I've got a lot of positive reviews on this particular book, but every once in a while you get one negative, and this one was a scorcher. So let's get into that. All right, back on Amazon one more time. I saved this one for last because it really is the most scathing of all the reviews on here. This person was definitely not happy with what they got. But did I not make good on my promise? Let's find out. So Make Your Own Heroes, male and female superheroes and villain templates for kids of all ages. Over 100 pages if you're a kid who loves to draw or create superheroes, and then it kind of goes on or you needs to get started, all this stuff. So, and the reason why these are a long description is because when people are searching for books, the more keywords you can think, the more information that you can put out there for people. And I'm all about providing as much information as I can so people can use that for their buying decisions. So anyway, so let's go into the ratings. We got 7 ratings on this book. Here is the one. This one's the 1 star right here. Okay, so here's the 1-star review. This book doesn't use non-photo blue lines and no villain guides. So right off the bat, I showed these books in the beginning. Every single video I've ever done where I show these, I show them off. And I have never said that they were non-photo blue. Now, granted, yes, non-photo blue is great. I use non-photo blue all the time. If you're looking for something, these same templates in non-photo blue, I have other digital products that you can download and you can print, like the Comic Maker Toolkit, things like that. You're limited to what you can print on Amazon. And the big thing, and really one of the things I'm trying to look at the whole of everything when I put these books out. I could have gone non-photo blue, The problem is, Amazon doesn't offer just a 1-color print. If they offer black and white or they offer color. So I would have to go full color, which would probably maybe like double the price of this book. And I just didn't think that that was necessary in this particular, case. I think somebody would rather pay half the price and for gray templates rather than blue. I don't know. Maybe I do another version just as a test with non-photo blue. Charge twice as much and see if it sells. I don't think that's what customers really want. There may be a specific customer, but like I said, I also offer that. I offer that in my digital products, that you can print some of these templates out in non-photo blue and everything. So anyway, so this book does not offer non-photo blue lines and no villain guides. And when I advertise heroes and villains, the reason why I did that, because originally I was just going to say hero guides, and I thought, well, you could design villains. I mean, villains are heroes. It's just how you design them. There's no difference in a template on that. So when I'm saying heroes and villains, it's the same template. It's just what you decide to create. If you want to create all heroes or create all villains or do a mix match of them, that's up to you. So I don't really understand the no villains guide. It's what you make of it, really. I don't understand how you create a blank template for villain. I mean, what is a villain? Does a villain look is their body structure? I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, so let's see. In the fine print, it says it uses light gray. So they even called out that I say that yes, it says gray. And as far as this whole thing about fine print, it's really not fine print. It's just the description. Amazon, and I'll show you when we go into the description, Amazon doesn't allow you to change the type size or make something really small so you could hide information. It's in the description. You have one size type when you type out your description and it appears in. So it's not fine print, it's just the print as you can put it, as you can enter it. You don't have any control over that. Okay, so it's not fine print, it's the regular size print that everything else is all the other parts of the description are in. In the fine print it says light gray but pro quality. To me this means pro would use this. I'm a pro, I use this. I know other pros that use this. The quality just wasn't there. Here's another thing as far as the thin paper, not non-photo blue. Okay, again, I never said it was non-photo blue. None of the pictures show it as being non-photo blue. As far as the paper, and this is something that most people reviewing don't know, so I don't put any fault on a person review if they don't like the paper. The problem is Amazon doesn't let you choose the paper you print on when you're publishing through their publishing platform. They give you one paper to use, and you don't have any control over that. I think Amazon needs to do something with, if there's a review about the quality of the paper, that's kind of on Amazon. That's no fault of the person publishing. I don't have any control over the paper. If I could make a higher quality paper, I would probably go with that. But I don't have a choice in that matter. It's almost like if you get a package and it's designed, if it's delivered late by Amazon and you leave a negative review on that product, that's really not fair because that's no fault of the person that's selling the product. That's Amazon. So if somebody leaves a negative review, oh, this product got here late, and that's something, it's a bummer when you get stuff late or when it doesn't get delivered at all or whatever, but that's something you need to take up with Amazon, and that has nothing to do with the person selling the product. And even though, like I said, most people don't understand that we as publishers through Amazon, the Amazon KDP platform, we don't have a choice really of the paper we use. Most people don't understand that, but I think Amazon maybe should, I don't know, there's got to be something they could do, and really it's because you can't remove, maybe if it's just a thing on the quality, maybe remove them. I don't know, I don't know what the solution is, but it's definitely the system that's in place right now. It's really not fair to the creators because I don't have any say on the quality, so just wanted to put that out there. Okay, so fail number one. This would be a great 5-star product if it were created with blue lines. Again, I don't know how many times I had to repeat it. I never said it was blue lines. It's not advertised. None of the pictures, which we'll get into, show blue lines. Maybe look at that before you buy it because it's easy to tell that it's not blue lines. It's easy. And if you're expecting it to be blue lines and you look at a picture of the book and you read the description, it says it's gray lines and the picture doesn't show blue lines but shows gray. I don't understand the criticism there. Anyway, traditional comic book type guidelines. The lines are gray, which means they will photocopy. Yes, they will photocopy. This, to me, this whole idea, and I offer blue line stuff in my digital products because that doesn't have anything to do with the printing and what I'm able to do for the price range and everything. But this is designed to help you, create ideas for characters and everything. It's not necessarily you take that character and you print it out and everything. This is like a workbook. It's like a sketchbook. And that's not something that bothers me. I use these templates myself to flesh out these characters and everything. Again, it never was advertised as having blue lines. So fail number two, there are only one generic type of male and female guide. I expected 2 types of bodies, but it would have been nice if there were bulk style bodies and thin style bodies. Okay, I can kind of see that criticism. The way I look at it is this is a generic body type. You can either build upon that if you want somebody more muscular, if you want somebody to be a little heavier, if you want somebody to be skinnier. You just use that guide and you trim it down. I mean, you've got the guide there, and that's what I've done before. If I wanted a more slim character, I just kind of slim it down. So maybe there might be some validity to that, but again, I never said that there were different body types. It wasn't advertised as that. So again, there are no villains in this book, just generic male and female bodies. I don't know what the difference between a villain template and a hero template is. I really don't. I think a villain can look like a hero. I mean, some good villains, you don't want to know they're villains. I mean, they're secret villains until you find out, so you want to make them look more heroic, or just like a normal person. I don't know I don't know how I would design a villain template any different than a hero template. There's not even a divider of the 50 pages for the heroes and 50 pages for the villains. I know villains can be muscular just like heroes, but it's a bit annoying. There's no variance. Okay, if you wanted more variety, I guess I can maybe see that. But you can design these any way you want. If I broke it all up into male on one side, I just thought it would be good to alternate. But that's just a choice. I don't know. And then this person says she watched my videos on YouTube. From the video, he said these are turnaround guides. In several videos, he published products but didn't use them or show them. That's not true at all. I've done plenty of almost every video I've done where I'm talking about these books, I open them up and they're all gray. I show them off. I've done videos where I show how to use them. This just isn't true. I mean, maybe somebody caught one video, but I don't know. Probably because they don't have blue guidelines. The way this is written is just like I am intentionally trying to trick somebody into thinking these are done in blue, that I'm trying to hide it or something. And it couldn't be further from the truth. I've showed these books off. I just don't know. However, he talked about blue, non-photo blue, lead in his toolkit episode. Yes, the toolkit, there is blue. I mean, because it's digital, it's a different story, all right? He should know someone would want to scan these. Again, these are different products. I don't know. I mean, I keep referring back to this, but I never said that these are blue lines. It specifically says that they're not. Then he talked about how he makes pro-grade I guess that's supposed to be budget tools for artists, kids. Maybe a kid doesn't care about non-photo blue. It just kind of keeps going on. I don't want to hammer in this because this person really has something set in their mind that they want it to be non-photo blue, even though it wasn't advertised as that. So turnarounds are tedious, but necessarily for consistency. You don't forget the designs or true comic book collaboration concept. Everyone draws okay, yeah. I mean, it's just all right. So anyway, that's the negative review. So let's go back to the actual product description and the pictures and see. Am I trying to trick somebody here? Okay, so first of all, let's go down here. In a lot of these books, I will put additional information here so you kind of get to see what this is. You can see that it's black and white. You can see these aren't blue. These are gray. These are the templates right here, and then I also talk about some of my other books and everything like that. But if that wasn't enough, there's also the look inside feature. But let's look here on the description. Now it's easy to create amazing professional looking comic book superheroes no matter your age or skill level, boys, girls, adults. Love to draw and imagine color and create their own superhero characters using this useful journal filled with over 100 pre-formatted blank hero templates to help spark their creativity. Let's see if we get back where okay, here we go. Designed for professional comic book artists. Light gray anatomical outlines with front and back and side views allow you to imagine, create, and trace your heroes from all angles. Bonus pro tips. So I talk about the pro tips. So right here, it says they're light gray. There's no mention of this being blue. Nowhere ever have I ever said that it was. Let's look inside. Here we go. I guess it wants you to click on it twice every time we do this. Okay, so let's look inside here. And you can see these are priced fairly reasonable, $6.50 for the most part. Now, if you want to pay, $13, I could offer a blue I could offer a blue template. I just don't know how well that would go over. Anyway, so we've got our tips and everything, and then we get right in there with superhero templates, and then from then on, now, okay, so this may not be the best example. I don't know, Amazon has a weird thing when they do their preview images. Sometimes they'll put tons and tons of pages. They'll show you tons and tons. This one doesn't show more of these templates, but you can see right here that it's gray. I mean, that should be enough for you to gather, plus the other information down here. So you can see here, they're gray. Again, this one particularly bothered me because it was so scathing. Two, it was just like the attitude was just like that I was trying to trick somebody, which I'm not. I'm putting everything out on Front Street. This is what the book is. If that's not what you're looking for, please don't buy it and don't leave a negative review, you know? But anyway, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. So there you have it. So those are some of the negative reviews I've got, and it does bother me because, and it shouldn't, because I know I put out quality products and everything, but it does affect, you know, what people think when they read these. So I just wanted to put this out there to basically kind of defend myself and also show some of these products out. And again, because I'm trying to be as transparent as I can to let you know exactly what you're getting. But I think it helps to do a little research. If you're gonna purchase something, maybe read the description, maybe look if there's pictures of what that product is, see what that is, so you're not surprised by it, when in fact it was probably it is what it is, and maybe you didn't realize what it was. But and I you know, there's been times where I maybe purchased something and I got it and like, wow, this is a lot smaller than I thought, and I think maybe, you know, is this false advertising? Maybe I should leave a negative review, and then I'll go back and look at the actual description. I'm like, oh no, it listed exactly what it was. I just didn't pay attention. In that case, I'm not gonna leave a negative review. And typically I don't. It has to be really egregious if I'm gonna leave any kind of negative review. But the thing is, most reviews that are left, a lot of times people are gonna leave more times because anger is more of a motivator than positivity. If somebody gets something they really like, it's like, oh, I like this, and then they just kind of go on with their day. But if they get something and they're just angry because it's not what they expected it to be, it's not what they imagined in their head for it to be, even though maybe it was never meant to be that, they're more likely to leave negative reviews. So, you know, think about it. And, you know, when you're purchasing products on Amazon or anything, if you get a product you like, why not leave a positive review? And again, just to talk about these books, I've got a lot of cool books. Here's another one that I really like that gets a lot of I haven't got any negative reviews on this, but this one's kind of cool because if you're a fan of just creating heroes and things like this is great for kids or adults, and all of these are designed to be professional, or also if you're just an aspiring artist, you can use these as well. But it's just kind of fun because this here we've got on one side, again, female and male, and then it's got all the different stats and things here that you can fill out for your hero, their name, their alter ego, their powers, all that stuff, and put stats. It's almost like when you're creating a D&D character, but for superheroes. And there's just tons of these, so you can just create all your heroes in here, have them collected in a nice little booklet that you can refer to. So I'm really happy about the work that I'm putting out there, even though sometimes, you know, you get some negative stuff, but by and large I get a lot of positive reviews. And but that's kind of what I wanted to share today. So think about what you're purchasing, maybe do a little research, and why not leave a positive review if you get something you like. Anyway, that's all I got to say today. I'll talk to you later. That is all. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow me at Serkworks on social media, and now you can support the work that I do on Patreon. Do you like making comics? Then go to Serkworks.com and pick up the Comic Maker Starter Kit. It's packed full of fonts, brushes, templates, and more. And best of all, it's totally free.